everyone, it's your art teacher Shanika Grimes. Today we will be painting this simple rendition of two pantries on the seaside so that we can relax. This theme is suitable for everyone, so Granny and Mommy join in and let's have fun painting.
So here's what you guys will need: brushes and a chalk or pencil, canvas or paper. You will also need acrylic paint and a water container and a plastic cover for your surface. Hey guys, we're gonna have such a good time. Woo, time to paint. First we gotta start with chalk or a pencil, and we are going to draw the background first. Let's start with a horizontal line for the background. This is about 2/3 way up your canvas again. Good job. If you need to pause at any point because I'm going too fast, do so. A wavy diagonal line that leaves a little bit of space on the bottom right for your water line. Then we're going to draw some wiggly outlines for your clouds. I want to see your creativity. Your clouds don't have to be exactly like mine. They can be similar, but they don't have to be exactly the same. Alright, you can make many clouds, but leave out some space for the blue. Make it nice. Woo. Alright, let's see how the kids are doing with this. Okay, so they have their horizontal line. Very nice. You see, the horizontal line isn't in the exact same place for each child, and that is quite fine. Some of them have the line for the ocean not quite diagonal, and it's still going to be a pretty painting. Alright, so they're taking their time and making these lines very nice. I just wanted you guys to see how other children were working. See the one in the middle there, she just made some corrections to hers. And she's paying close attention to getting it as much like the one she sees as possible. And she's also having a good time standing in the chair. Don't do that. Alright, I see the little boy on the left. He is making his horizon as straight as possible. Auntie passing by. And now they're on to the clouds. Alright, this is some pretty nice clouds. And you can see that everyone is moving at a different pace. Everyone's drawing skills are different and their results look a bit different as well. So this is good. Variety is the spice of life. Alright, they made a few corrections to their chalk lines as well. Don't be afraid if you have to fix something that doesn't look quite right. Take your time. This is a video, so you can operate at your own pace. And if you need to restart or rewind, do so. Make yourself very comfortable. Woo! His tiny clouds are very cute as well. A different shape to mine, but still nice. Alright. Paintbrush time. Alright. So we are going to start with the sand at the bottom, this beige color, which is kind of like tannish kind of color, and we're just gonna swipe left and right. We would have learned this smoothing technique from our previous videos where we paint left to right in long swipes to get a fairly smooth finish. So we want to now use this technique. We're not going to give it several coats. We're just going to do one coat, sweeping left and right as long as we can. Remember, if at any point I'm going too fast, you can pause the video. And we're going to wrap this color around the sides up to where it stops. So you're not going to take it all the way up to the sea or to the clouds. Just wrap it around where it stops at the front. So we are going really well. I'm doing my little wrap around. I'm always so happy when I'm painting. Painting makes me feel really good. I hope it has that effect on you too. The sides. Wrap around the sides. Don't go so high up. And the other side. Alright, and remember, underneath, you can turn your canvas to the side if you need to get underneath. Woo. Really great job, guys. This is looking so nice. Take your time. Smooth over left and right. Left and right. Alright, so we gotta wash the brush. And you always want to wash the brush between color changes. Well, at least for this first series of assignments. We'll do some mixing later on. So whenever you change a color, be sure to clean your brush. Alright, so now we're going to go to light blue for the sky. And we're going to try to work around our clouds. It doesn't have to be perfect, because white will bring back some of the edges if they're lost. But I do want you to wait for the blue paint to dry before you start to add white, or you might get a lot of mixing. So you're going around the clouds. I'm using a fairly big 1-inch brush right now. All the way around the clouds. Oh, this is looking great. And now I'm going to wrap around with the blue where my blue stops for the sky. So it's stopping right there. So I'm just going to fold it around to where it stops. Really good. Really, really good. I'm not getting my strokes as long on the sky, but that's fine because I think a little bit of texture on the sky looks interesting. Just be sure not to paint through your clouds. If you do, you can wipe it off quickly with a baby wipe if you have, or with a slightly damp piece of tissue. Great job! Looking really good. Alright, now for the darker blue. I'm going to spread long left and right strokes again. You can pause there if you had needed to wash out your brush, if you're still working on that. But I didn't want this video to get too super long, so I tend to just keep it moving, and then you guys can adjust as necessary. Alright, and when we get to the horizon line, you want to kind of slow down, really hold the brush like a pencil, and follow the edge of that line so that you can get a nice straight edge. Things are better perfected when you take your time. It's not a race. I have to wait on you if you press pause. So feel free to do that at any point in time. For the water, you don't have to add a second coat. Some kids did do that, and that's fine. But I like the little bit of changes of the blue due to the brush stroke. That makes it look more like water to me. But if you're going for a more graphic feel, you can put 2 coats on it. Whatever makes you comfortable. This is your painting. I just want you to learn some techniques from me, but still have your own style going on about it. Very good. Alright, wrap that around the sides up to where the color stops. Very good. I love how well you guys are working, and your patience. Your patience is going to grow with each assignment. Each of these assignments repeats some of the same skills, so that you should be getting better as you go along. Do you notice any improvement? Please feel free to repeat videos and try again on paper if you're not satisfied with the results. Washing out my brush. Practice makes progress. Alright, so we're gonna let the background dry. Great job. We're gonna let the background dry so we don't have too much blending of colors. I'm just giving the sky another coat, also to add some texture, because I'm not smoothing it over. I'm just putting it in a few patches and leaving some areas lighter than others. I'm just going to add a little tiny tit of dark blue, just a little bit of that dark blue. And while the blue paint is still wet, I'm going to spread it between just a touch. So that is going to make a softer blue somewhere between light and dark blue. And you just want a few streaks of that. Don't try to blend the whole sky. Alright. Just taking a step back to look at that. Touching up any spots that I see. And yes, I think we are here. I think that looks very nice, and we are well on our way. Good job. We're just gonna let it dry. I tried to blow it dry, but we're gonna wait. We're coming back.
Nobody ever said me, your mom.
This is the gossip swim with the kidlings.
Yes. What gossip you're talking about?
They're having a
None of
whole
us having no gossip.
debate
We talk
about.
about no gossip. We gossip nothing.
Alright, let's see how your painting is coming, Jill. That's lovely. I like how your clouds look. They look like cute little popcorns. And then Shonika's look a little bit more like mine. And Satora's. But I like the difference in Jules. A very good, you know, everybody has a very good angle.
Cartoon.
Yeah, he likes a lot of animation, so that's his style. We're developing our style, you know, so we don't have to worry about being exactly the same. So for our viewers, just be comfortable with the way yours turns out. Life is about progress, right? Right.
Wow.
You liking your paintings, guys?
Yes.
Woo!
This will be my favorite unless I mess up.
You won't mess up. Okay, now blue has had some time to dry and the sand. We're gonna come out with white and a very clean brush, and we are going to pat on the white paint. So instead of pulling long strokes like this, we're gonna tap the paint on so that the edge of the cloud looks fluffy. You can disturb the edge you had drawn just a little bit outside the line with this patting motion, so you get a nice fluffy effect on your clouds. I'm really taking my time, and I'm gonna layer the white until my clouds look nice and fluffy. When the white starts to get a little bit low, I will reload my brush. So the white was there from before because the color of the canvas is white, but now we are refining it and adding a little texture by patting the brush. So we are going to do this on each of our clouds as tidy as possible. Pat, pat, pat. As tidy as possible. And I hope mommy and granny and daddy decided to join in on this assignment, because this is a pretty popular art party theme as well, so it's very suitable for group projects. Okay, all right, my clouds are looking so nice. Just keep patting. Sorry, I'm blocking you a little bit. I'm really concentrating there. And we are almost done with that. I'm going to do the same patting motion on this wiggly diagonal line that represents the shoreline. Ooh, that is looking nice. Very good. Be sure to wrap your shoreline just around the edge. And now I'm going to do a few more diagonal lines just in from the shoreline, wiggly as always, to represent the breaks of the waves. I'm going to go a bit more, some are broken and then some are a bit shorter. And we want to make sure that we're patting that on nicely. Yes. Alright, so we're going to pat a bit more straight this time, so that we can see a few thinner wave lines of the break crashing in the distance. So I'm going to put some in between, smaller and thinner. And these ones are going to have a touch of purple. See how that adds just a little bit more dimension to the water? Alright, I'm having a little party about it. So those touches of purple were done with the medium brush. So now I'm going to start to draw with chalk my chairs. So I start with a tiny little rectangle. Alrighty then, let's see how the kids are doing. Alright, as always, this is okay if they move a little slower than me, the instructor, so you guys can pause in between if things are going a little bit fast. So they're still filling in their background, making sure that things are nice and tidy. And the work is just looking so lovely. Really proud of you guys. To reach all angles and all corners, they're standing to make sure that their work is coming out really nice. Ooh, Shanika is moving quite fast. That's the one in the middle. She has her blue all done already. I just think that they do such great work, you know? And when you put your best effort into something, it's not a race. Slow down.
Is tic-tac-toe, otherwise known as X and O's. And you can play this on a piece of paper or with chalk. The girls are playing with chalk. XO, who's gonna be the winner? What to do next? Oh no! Winner!
You were not seeing that coming. Nope.
No, you didn't see that coming, guys.
Nobody did not see that. I'm so dumb. Okay. You
Don't
can be
say
X
that.
now.
That's not nice. Okay. X.
I can't wait to be happy.
Ooh, this one's all squashed. No winner. So let's rub it out. Draw. Rub it out. Go again.
So I'm using blue chalk now, which I think you guys can see a little bit better than the brown on beige. And I am drawing in this little tiny rectangle that is the seated part of our chair. There are two other rectangles for the legs. So draw a kind of long rectangle first, then two smaller rectangles going vertically for the legs. They're attached to the first, the base of the chair. We're gonna leave a little bit of space between the chairs. Then you're gonna draw another rectangle. Don't make it too fat. Okay, now we're gonna draw those legs. All of this we're gonna paint in brown. So you see we have the rectangle across and the two legs. Now we're gonna draw the little wooden bits of the chair. We're gonna start with a vertical line. I'm just showing you how it looks on the finished project. Draw your vertical lines pretty equal in height, then a smaller diagonal line, and then a larger slight diagonal line coming back to meet the first straight line at the bottom. So the next line after these three lines is going to be another diagonal line. Leave a little bit of space next to your first piece of wood for your chair. Then you're going to draw another piece of wood, two diagonal lines, and the top line is also a slight slant diagonal line. So on the other side, we're going to draw it equally, but first we're going to draw the same thing on the chair next to it. Okay, so they look like little upside down triangles, but really skinny triangles, but triangles nonetheless. Yeah, I feel so good that I'm accomplishing this. Yeah. Celebrate yourself every day. And I'm going to mirror what I have there already on the other side. If I'm going too fast for you, you can press pause. Take your time and make sure the spacing between the pieces of wood that are going up to form the back of the chair are pretty equal. And also that the space between them is equal as well. Alright, I'm getting this done on the other side. If at any point you're having trouble with this, feel free to pause, erase, and make another attempt. You can touch up any smudges with the beige paint and a small brush. Alright, we drew our chairs. We drew our chairs. Just showing you how it looks. I almost forgot the little tiny wine glass. Or should I say orange juice glass? I drew two, but then I realized each person only needs one beverage. So if you want to do two, you can, but I had one in my original drawing. Okay. Yay! Oh dear. Paintbrush. I'm gonna get a little water and wipe off the extra glasses I did. But first, I'm going to paint in the brown in between all the chair pieces of wood that we drew in just now. This theme is so fun, anybody can join in. Maybe you guys can start a collection at home. Or even a little family wall would be nice. So you're just filling till the edge of the chalk lines you just drew with the brown paint. Be sure to get the edge of the chalk line. You don't want too much chalk left back. But once your painting has completely dried, you can just wipe off the excess chalk. Alright, so I'm painting in my chair legs and I'm using a very small brush. Never force a brush that's too large into the space that you're working with. You want to be very patient as well when you're doing small detailed things like this. I'm having the utmost patience with myself and I hope you can be patient with yourself too. So breathe deeply and really get into your painting. I like to follow the edge first and then fill in. I feel like that gives me the most precision, because when you're trying to fill in and you haven't painted the edge first, you're more likely to go outside of the edge. That paint outline kind of helps you to stop short so that you do not brush past the edge. Make sure, as always, when using a small brush, that you are focusing on the tip of the brush. If you press hard into the base of the brush, you will damage the brush and you will also be making wider lines than you actually need. And you may go past the edge. We certainly don't want that. Detailing is my favorite part of any painting. It takes me to a very relaxed place where I can think only about the lines I am trying to make. Be patient with yourself and don't get frustrated. Try again. It took me years of practice to become the artist I am today, and I started with very simple things. I can still remember when I used to draw stick people and when I used to draw the legs to the side, probably just like some of you. You have to start somewhere and enjoy the beginning of your journey. So I'm going to do my other chair exactly the same. Start by outlining and then fill in. Reload the tip of the brush and keep going. just love how this is turning out. Don't fuss up if you make a mistake. Just let it dry and you can paint the corrective color on top if necessary. If you don't know how to make a mistake well or take a failure well, it's going to be very hard for you to grow. People are not born perfect. They have to work very hard at it. Are you willing to do the work? Take your time. Dip that tip of that brush into the paint. I'm always doing this outline first. I want to make my outline really, really nice. Really, really great. So that filling in is a lot easier. Ooh. That is a nice vertical line I just drew. This short diagonal one. And then I'm coming down with a slight diagonal and filling in. I hope you recognize your different line types. Come down vertically. Woo. You really have to be as patient as possible when you are working on your painting. I'm almost done. I'm examining my progress. Did I leave anything out? No. I'm erasing that extra glass of orange juice. Erase. So everybody has one glass of juice. Don't be greedy. We want to make sure that everything is as tidy as possible. I'm going to use a little bit of red to fill in this. I decided to make it more like fruity than orange juice. Ooh. And then I'm going to outline my glass with the very, 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 very tip of the brush and black paint. If you are having difficulty with the brush, I took up a pencil to show you that you can dip the point of the pencil into the paint and use it to control the paint better. So I dipped a little bit of black paint and then I zoom in, and it's really helping me to get in there. Ah, really nice stuff. I'm just fixing some of the lines on the handles of my chairs and tidying up. That is pow. That is like pow. So we're gonna work on the palm trees next. My diabolical plan. Ooh. Okay, we are back. It's time to get your groove on. So get your chalk, back to work, and we're gonna make a little marker here just above that first chair, somewhere in the sky, just above the horizon line. We're gonna make another marking close to the corner at the bottom, and we're gonna connect those two dots with a slightly curved diagonal line. So it's curving slightly, and we're gradually gonna make the diagonal line next to it get wider as it goes to the bottom. So So you see it's thin up here and it's gradually getting wider. Don't make a big bump. So we need 2. We're gonna leave a relaxed spawn. Just measure using your fingers, and we're gonna put a dot next to our first dot. Don't make it too close or the leaves of the palm trees will bump together too much. That's the light curve on the diagonal, and we're going towards the corner. Very good work. We're gonna draw in our leaves. We need 5. So a slight curve coming out of our dot and going down. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other tree. I'm gonna mark little dashes first before drawing the other curves to make sure the spacing is okay. So I have 4 other dashes coming from the dot outward. So they look like little more than less than signs. So from the last one, I'm gonna draw a curve and then I'm gonna fill in all the rest. So I should have 3 on one side and 2 on the other side. Great job. Ooh. We're gonna come back with the paint. Ooh. So we are back and we're gonna get the medium brush and some brown paint. And we're gonna fill in each tree's trunk. Take your time and fill it in nicely. The next one, and we're gonna do both of them as tidy as we can. I really like to concentrate when I'm doing detailing. It really helps when you have the patience and your mind is focused. These are very mature qualities, patience and a focused mind. All right, filling in that brown really nice and tidy. Be sure you don't miss any spots. Woo! Yeah. We're gonna wash out that brush, as always, between colors. Then we're gonna go to green. Let's get our smallest brush and we're gonna follow the chalk lines that we have with the curve. Follow each chalk line's curve with the green paint. So you're gonna go over all 5 of your palm trees stems, the center stem with the green paint and a small brush, a teeny tiny detailing brush, so that we have good control over the details we want to do right now. All right, this is looking so neat. You want to take your time to make sure the leaves are spaced properly. So when you do these tiny leaves underneath, we're gonna flick down the brush, pull down from underneath the curve. So the curve is there and we're only painting under each curve, short lines pulling down. On the second leaf, make sure that the leaves don't bump into the first leaf. So you may have to make them slightly shorter where the leaves are closest together. Pull down, pull down, pull down. And you're gonna do this on each leaf. You're doing some really great work. Keep pulling down until you have each leaf covered beautifully. Remember, if I'm going too fast, you can press pause. I'm just showing you how it slightly curves on the other tree. So I'm going to demonstrate on my hand. It's a slight curve like that for each of the leaves coming down from the stem. We have to do this on each stem and on both trees. All right, we're at our second tree. How great are we? We're so close to being finished. And if we're not, hit replay and watch from where you need to so that you can catch up. Most people can take up to 2.5 hours to do this properly, so I want you to know there is no need to rush. Take your absolute time. This is a video. You can pause and come back to it if you need to. Make it as nice as you can. I can't wait to see your WhatsApp follow-up so I can give you some tips. Yeah, I love when it's turning out great. Love it. It's looking great. Okay, so we're gonna do some little dashes on the trunk of the tree using tan paint. Try your best not to go past the edge of the tree. So these tiny dashes go from the bottom all the way up. And we're gonna do this on both trees. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Take your time. I'm going to show you guys some examples of how the kids' work looks finished, so you won't be discouraged by my painting, or you might be even better than me, and I can't wait to see. And I'm using the black paint to separate where the trees touch. Then I'm doing tiny dashes between each tan set of dashes in black. You want these to be really thin and don't add too much paint. One dip of paint took me all the way up the side of the palm tree. Great work. Absolutely beautiful, guys. Great work. Absolutely beautiful, guys. All right. So we're just going to add 2 tiny brown coconuts. Because the tree leaves are green already, so to see the coconuts, we're going to put them in brown. And it is an abstract painting, so we can break some of the rules. All right. Yeah! Woo, 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 woo. Yeah! We did it! We did it! Confetti, confetti! Roll it back now. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so here the kids are. They're having a pretty good time painting over their wonderful work. Some of them are at different places in terms of completion, but you can see how it's coming together. Some of them added their own swing to the little chairs at the bottom. Some of them even added people. But you want to be careful not to add too many things and ruin your painting. Okay? So I want to say that you guys are doing an absolutely fabulous job. And from the pictures I am seeing that you're sending back to me, you're working as hard as you can. Remember the age difference between you and I, and that I've had way more years to practice, so yours is always beautiful for where you're at right now.